Heyo gamers, it's Pufuu here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a fan of Splatoon music, like I am, then stick around because in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing some Splatoon 3 concepts that I've made, and we're going to be diving deeper into some Splatoon 3 theories that's been going around the community lately. Apparently, Nintendo might have leaked the new Splatoon 3 idols. So without further ado, let's get to it! Alright, so here's my take on what Nintendo might do if there was a possible collaboration between the two. Even though it's highly unlikely that we will see this collaboration ever come to life, why not envision what would it be like? So the way Nintendo could do this is either they give us an exclusive code that you would input into the eShop to receive the gear, or they might give it away for free through a news article. So what you'll notice with the gear is that it's actually based off of the spy gear, and the ties themselves are just pure black. Also, there's actual black gloves on it, so it's a very nice outfit. Also, take a look at the shoes. I recall someone on Twitter saying that these shoes would be called Daft Punks. Now, if you don't know, these shoes in the game are actually called Punks, and then based on the color that they are of the shoe, that would be the name of the shoe. So if you had the yellow version of this, it would be called Yellow Punks, and then the black version, Black Punks. So what would you call these version? Daft Punks. Such a great pun. Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of shocking how we don't have many tuxedos in the game. I mean, the only ones we have are from the spy gear, and that's Japanese exclusive here. So if you're on the West, you got nothing but probably just a dress shirt and a tie. Yeah, Nintendo, please give us tuxedos in Splatoon 3, please. So a couple things they've added is these 70s lens flares, and then you'll also notice that there's a lot of grain and noise in the photo. That's just because I want that 70s look, right? And then, oh my god, the rim lighting. Ooh, this was so much fun to do. When you do a lighting source, what you want to do is that you want to have that light reflect off of the characters themselves so that they look like they're actually in the scene. But yeah, so when you have a lighting source, you really want that light to reflect off of the edges of a character. So this backlight here is blue. That means that all the characters in the front would have a bluish light reflecting off of their bodies here. And then over here we have a warmer tone light source. That means that edges would be a little bit more yellow. So overall, that's just some of the technical aspects of this concept. Okay, so here's a clearer version without the whole entire logo. This makes this a pretty good wallpaper. Honestly, if you want to use this as your wallpaper, check out my Twitter because I've included a really high quality image of it. Alright, so this is my first Splatoon 3 band concept, Drippers. Now, let me go ahead and read to you the description. New Splatoon 3 band, Drippers. This Moonbathon punk rap trio blend consists of members Big Flex Dee, Manny, and Bisque. Bisque recently moved from Ingopolis Square to the Splatlands to discover himself. He happened to run into two sketchy underground artists, Big Flex Dee, which is a dragonfish, and Manny, a man-o'-war, in which they formed a new band. Now their raging tunes are blasted throughout the desert. Alright, so let's dive deeper into this concept. Our man Bisque is back, but this time he's not just a shoe shopkeeper. In fact, he's rocking that drip. Take a look at this. He's wearing Supreme, full hype beast, gold chains, gold belt, oh my god, red boots. Yeah, the man's kicking around. He's not joking anymore. He's got them bills. Now, originally in Splatoon 2, Bisque was just a shoe vendor, but now he's back in the game as a band member. I honestly think that this is very likely because if you didn't know, Bisque was actually a musician according to the Splatoon 2 art book and a couple of the Sunken Scrolls. I can definitely see Bisque being a part of a new Splatoon 3 band. Now, originally in the first game, Annie was the headgear vendor, but in Splatoon 2, she manages the Splatnet store. So that kind of shows the fact that past characters are in fact not forgotten. We might see Bisque as a band member because he is a musician, so who knows, there's a possibility. Beside Bisque is another member. This is Manny, so this is the original character I made. Who is she? Well, she is based off the animal a man-o'-war, and if you don't know what a man-o'-war is, it is actually a component of many organisms. It might look like a jellyfish, but it's not a jellyfish, it's just a bunch of organisms together. And it does look like a jellyfish, so I'm not gonna lie. So I've incorporated a couple of design components of a man-o'-war into her design. One of the first things you'll notice is that take a look at that hair flow. Oh my god, it is so cool. I mean, I don't know, I like her. She's got a big chain too. I mean, look at that. The drip on this one, and the shoes too, and the glass, the shades, man. She's dripping. So here's a closer look of Manny. She does percussions and does background vocals. And here's a closer look of Bisque. He does the guitars. I'm sure you guys are aware of that. But yeah, he does play the guitar, so I honestly see him playing the guitar in the new band. And then we have is Big Flex DD. Who is Big Flex DD? He is a dragonfish, and here's an image of one. They look quite scary, but they have sick-looking designs. So in Drippers, he is the lead vocal. So here's an overall shot of the entire band. So here's a bigger shot of the band. They got red boots, they got their gold drip, and there's a bunch of spikes. And it really matches the whole chaotic theme of Splatoon 3, I think. I mainly try to stick with a little bit more dirty colors because I think it has that dusty sand look to it. But it still keeps that drip look as well. It's like, you know how rip clothes or clothes with a bunch of holes in it seem to cost more than clothes without holes? Yeah, think of it like that. Okay, so here is my next image. This is a logo I made for the idol theory I was talking about earlier in the video. So if you didn't know, one of my mutuals on Twitter, GSunFox, has recently noticed that in the background of one of the screenshots, you'll notice a sign that could potentially be the logo of the new idols in Splatoon 3. Now, this isn't confirmed or anything, but I took that image, which was really blurry, and I fixed it up just a little bit to make it look a little bit more clear. So here's the version that I made up. Now, if you don't know, GSunFox is a really talented artist, and their work is phenomenal. Please check out his work. It is amazing. You will love it. Please do. Give them a follow. I'll leave a link in the description below. Also, they're the one who came up with this theory, so massive credits to them. But here's the band logo that I made. I said Into the Ink. Now, Splatoon did leave this at the end of the trailer, and this could potentially point to the fact that the idol's name, or maybe their band name, could be Into the Ink, or their catchphrase might be Back into the Ink or something. I know the phrase Into the Ink is going to be used somehow in this game. That is something that's going to be brought up again, I'm pretty sure, so that's why I decided to incorporate here. Now, a couple of the symbols I've noticed that I've included is this lightning bolt and this eye thing with a stick through it. I have no clue. It could be a takoyaki. We have no clue. So I made a clearer version of this logo. Now, only half the logo was shown in that screenshot, so the other half is a bit more improvised, but I generally think that it will keep the same trapezoid shape. Overall, who do I think the idols will be? Well, according to GSunFox's theory, we might see is pink and green as idol colors. Now, this is pretty similar to Cali Marie, but they have been sticking with that color palette for quite a bit throughout the game. With Pearl and Marina, it was pink and more of a bluish cyan color, kind of. But it still kept that same range of pink and green, so it's possible that we could see the new band idols have the same color palette. Now, a lot of people have been suggesting that the new idols might be male idols, and honestly, I would love that. If we had male idols, that would be so cool, honestly. Nintendo, please give us male idols. I would love that a ton. Okay, so here's my next band. It is called Fish and Chips. This is a pun. So if you didn't know, Paruco, this girl over here, is a part of the Chirpy Chips. And this is Dead Fish, kind of her own solo artist. But if they merge together, that would mean that Dead Fish would become Fish and Chips, because it's Dead Fish, or Dead Fish, and then Paruco from the Chirpy Chips. Fish and Chips. Get the pun? It's pretty good, right? So I took these two and I put them into a band together. Why did I do this? Well, hear me out. Deadfish was originally in the Deep Sea Metro, and it is said in the lore that doesn't really do much aside from making music because she's sanitized. But you know what? Wouldn't it be cool if Nintendo brought her back, but this time she's getting desanitized? So I guess that means that she's not mind controlled anymore. The way I saw it was that Deadfish basically went above ground and decided to go to the Splatlands because she's like, hey, I need a vacation. And Paruco was like, I'm bored. So she didn't leave the Chirpy Chips, but she's like, I'm gonna head out and I'm gonna go to the Splatlands. And you know what? They met together and they formed a little collaboration. So this is Fish and Chips. And what type of music do they produce? Well, here's my description for them. New Splatoon 3 band, Fish and Chips. This glitch hop duo group consists of members Paruco from the Chirpy Chips and Jake Deadfish. Both artists departed to the Splatlands for a change in scenery, but they happened to run into each other, formulating a temporary collaboration. Blending both 8-bit vocals with vicious bass lines, this new hit sensation is making a wave in the Splatlands. Yeah, so overall, I think their music would be glitch hop. This is a genre that Nintendo hasn't really explored yet in the game, and I would honestly see this totally happening. Deadfish is typically known for making vicious bassline songs. Their songs are kind of in the trap range, I'd say. It's more about, their music is kind of more urban trap. has a lot of, definitely not EDM, it's more bass heavy is what I've noticed. So their music is very bass heavy. There's a lot of percussions on it, and there's a lot of like mid hop and glitches and stuff like that. There's a lot of cuts in between. If you listen to the Splat Attack Octo version of it, there is a lot of kind of like random 1/3 cuts, I think is the term. Or there's a lot of times where the audio kind of cuts off and a lot of repeats and things get kind of like distorted, and it's flop though, honestly. But imagine taking that vicious bass and blending it with that 8-bit tune melody. You get yourself glitch hop. It is honestly this, if these two went together, they would definitely form glitch hop, because you got 8-bit vocals and tunes and melodies mixed with vicious bassline that has a lot of cutting, which has that glitching effect. Together they make glitch hop. It is a future-based genre that's super thumpy, and I don't know, it matches the vibe really well. But yeah, so let's talk about their designs. So, now Paruco's back, but she's got herself a new look. In fact, her hair is a little bit more blue this time, because in the Splatlands, things dry up your hair. So hair is a little bit more, well, I mean, it should be brown, but you know what? I made it blue, because why not? But yeah, so she's back with a new outfit look. In fact, she's got a scrunchie now. Now, that means that her hair, instead of just being like two, I don't know, braids, she just got one braid on one side. She's got herself some kicks. Those are glow sticks in her shoe. Yeah, those are literally glow sticks in her shoe. You'll notice that her hat is gone. In fact, she has a visor now, just like Deadfish. They both got matching visors with little gold piercings on them. Deadfish has a little bit of a new hairstyle change. Instead of just being one tentacle that kind of just flows down, it actually wraps around her back and goes around her back. So pretty cool. So here's a closer look at Paruco. This is her logo, and this is supposed to say chips in Inkling language. You'll notice that she's got some clout goggles, because why not? Get herself that drip. She looks pretty neat. And a closer look of Deadfish. I tried making her skin actually less green, because I was thinking if she's getting desanitized, it would turn a little bit more yellow. So that indicates that, hey, look, she's slowly turning back into her regular self. Or maybe she'll stay green, who knows? Might be a permanent effect. But honestly, Deadfish, please bring her back. Her music slaps hard. And here's my last concept. It is the official Splatoon 3 soundtrack. Now, if you didn't know, every Splatoon game did come with an original soundtrack. We had Splatoon, Splatoon 2, we had Octotune. So it's only right if we had Splatoon 3. Now, this original soundtrack album, I personally think it would probably look something along the lines of this. We're gonna definitely see a massive soundtrack. I feel like the OST this time around will be very big. Splatoon 1's soundtrack was pretty big. Splatoon 2's was massive, and then Splatoon 3 is just gonna be crazy with the amount of songs that we're gonna get in this game. Now, there's also a disc as well, and you got the Inkling, main Inkling braid girl, and then you got Little Buddy on here. Yes, this is just the album cover. And when will this come out? Probably 2022, late 2022. Or early 2023. I think that's when the album would probably release. But we're definitely seeing a soundtrack coming out, and it's gonna have a lot of songs and some bonuses as well. Don't forget that. And here's a transparent version of the band. Look at that. A cleaner photo of them. I mean, honestly, they look sick. Oh, they look so sick. We're done!